All right, welcome. Today we're going to dive into a really powerful but short poem. It's dedicated to Indian soldiers who fought and, well, died a long, long way from home. We're going to unpack how it wrestles with these huge ideas of home, duty, and what destiny really even means. So the poem kicks off in a place you might not expect, not on some chaotic battlefield, but with this quiet, universal dream, the simple, powerful idea of coming home. It paints this picture of total comfort, right? The warmth of a fire, the smell and taste of a familiar meal. It's a feeling that anyone, anywhere can understand deep down.
Okay, so let's dig into this first theme because it's so important. This whole idea of home is really the emotional anchor for everything that comes next in the poem.
And the poet is super specific here. This isn't just some vague concept of home. No, it's a collection of real sensory things. The heat from your own fire, the taste of a meal you know by heart, the sight of your family. It's a vision of peace, of safety, of really, truly belonging somewhere. This dream isn't really for the young man fighting. It's for the old man he hopes to become. It's about that earned peace, the kind of peace you get when you're scarred but secure, having made it through all the chaos to live a quiet life, telling stories about everything you saw. But just as we're getting comfortable with this warm, cozy dream, the poem just shatters it. It pulls us right into the cold, hard reality of where these soldiers actually are.
The key word here, and you really can't miss it, is foreign. It gets hammered home 3 separate times, and that's on purpose. It's all about emphasizing this profound sense of alienation. These guys aren't just far from home. They're in lands they don't know, fighting next to people they don't know. Everything feels disconnected.
And right there, that's the central conflict of the whole poem. On one hand, you have this beautiful, idyllic dream of belonging, and on the other, you've got the stark, lonely truth of their duty, which has taken them a whole world away from that dream. So now we get to the real philosophical heart of the poem. This is where it shifts from just telling a story to asking a much, much bigger question about what a life is all about. This one line, this is the pivot point for the entire piece. It just forces you to stop and think, wait a minute, what's the difference? What's the difference between where I want to go and where I'm meant to be? This chart breaks it down perfectly. See, on the left, you've got destination. That's your plan. That's the map you draw for your life, returning to the village, growing old. But on the right, you have destiny, and that's something else entirely. It's about purpose. It's about finding meaning in what you do, even if it leads you somewhere you never ever planned to go. So, the crucial takeaway here is that destiny, at least in this poem's world, has nothing to do with a place on a map. It's a state of mind. It's about being totally committed to your purpose, right in that final moment, and finding meaning right there, wherever there happens to be. So, you have this painful clash, right? The dream of home versus the reality of dying abroad. How does the poem solve this? Well, it does something beautiful. It completely redefines what home can actually mean. The poem basically asks this very question. If that village you're dreaming of is just a destination you might never get to, then where is your real home? Where do you belong? And here it is, the profound answer. The act of sacrifice, of dying with purpose. It literally transforms the land. That foreign soil is no longer a place of exile. It becomes a place of belonging. It becomes his soil because his destiny was fulfilled there. And this idea gets even bigger. It goes beyond just one person and connects whole communities. All of a sudden, 2 villages that are thousands of miles apart, one in England, another in India, are now linked forever. Their sons are buried in the same ground, creating a new kind of community, one built not on geography, but on shared sacrifice. Now, the poem doesn't just stop at death. It looks ahead. It focuses on the legacy that these actions create and the responsibility of the people who survive. The final message is basically an order, a clear instruction for the survivors. Your job now is to go home, to tell our story, and to make sure that this action with a common purpose is remembered. The legacy you see is carried in the telling of the story. And this is the poem's last, really deep thought. It's suggesting that the true worth of an action doesn't disappear just because we can't see the final results. The courage, the purpose, that's meaningful all by itself, even if the fruit of that action, the ultimate consequence, isn't known for generations to come. So the poem leaves us chewing on this huge, timeless question. It challenges us to think beyond just our plans and our destinations, and to consider that maybe, just maybe, a life isn't defined by where it ends, but by the purpose it found along the way.